In this twist tutorial, you'll learn how to fold a mixed depth rhombus twist. This twist has a closed slit that looks almost exactly like the closed slit for the standard rhombus twist, but these diagonals are going in different directions and these pleats are twice as thick as these others. So this tutorial is part of the Summer of Twist series, which means that there are lots of other tutorials that have already been released if you want to go back through those and learn from the beginning instead of jumping into one of these more advanced twists. I'm going to go through how to fold this twist directly onto the grid without pre-creasing. Then we're going to look at the crease pattern on the front and the back, and I'll recommend another video at the end so you can practice this twist in the context of a repeating pattern folded on a single sheet of paper, an origami tessellation. So let's get started with folding. I'm using a 8-fold triangle grid on a square, which means there's 8 divisions from one side to the other. And if you're unfamiliar with this grid, you can check out the Summer of Twist welcome video to learn how to fold it. I'm going to mark a landmark here, which is the center of the paper. And I'm going to start marking the pleats that we're going to need for folding this twist. And then we will fold directly from that. I'll be pointing out the landmarks that I notice while I'm folding so that you can do this in the future without drawing on your paper. So first I'm going to draw a mountain fold up to the top of the paper from the center. Then I'm going to draw a mountain fold coming from that grid line coming from bottom left to upper right that hits one spacing above the center line. I'm going to draw another mountain fold down, so starting one grid spacing down to the right from the center, I'm going to draw down on that vertical grid line, and I'm going to draw a fold up and to the left. And this is specifically 1, 2, 3 grid spacings away from the other diagonal mountain fold. So for my valley folds here, I'm going to draw a valley fold 2 grid spacings away to the left of my vertical crease on the bottom. I'm going to draw that all the way up to the mountain fold of the next direction. Then on that diagonal direction, I'm going to draw a valley 1 spacing away. So here we've got 2 spacings, here we have 1 spacing. This is the mixed depth part of the mixed depth rhombus twist. Then for my vertical direction, I'm again going to draw that valley fold 2 grid spacings away, and for my diagonal, 1 grid spacing away. So from here, I can start picking up my mountain folds and folding them over onto the valley folds. And you can do this 1 pleat at a time or more or less all at once, like I just did. So if I was doing this 1 pleat at a time, I might pick this double depth pleat, and then this pleat that will lay on top of it, this pleat that will lay on top of that, this pleat that will lay on top of that. And if you've been folding along with me in the series, you'll notice that there's something slightly different about the way I folded this twist compared to all the other twists. This one is left-handed instead of right-handed. So arbitrary difference, it comes down to a mirror flip of the pattern. And once we have this kind of tube set up, we can press from the top to squash. So now opening up this twist, I can see that I added 4 new folds. So these new mountain folds, and that everything inside of those 4 folds was flat. So we didn't actually have mountain folds in these places where we drew the projections of the mountains from the pleats into the twist. So that's what we're looking at in terms of the mixed depth rhombus twist. Now, very similarly to the mixed depth square twist, you could see this mixed depth rhombus as taking 2 closed rhombus twists and putting them right next to each other, sharing an edge. And also similar to that twist, we have a closed slit on the back. Speaking of that back side, when we're looking at the back of the pattern, we see valley folds for the center polygon instead of mountains. And then we have our pleats surrounding our twist. And we're going to have a longer distance between the mountains and valleys of a given pleat if they are attached to a longer edge. So this edge is half the length of this edge, and this pleat is half the thickness of this pleat. So that's what's going on with our mixed depth rhombus twist. You'll notice here on the back that this is still left-handed. Everything is curling around this way, and I don't catch my fingers when I curl with my thumb up. If I curled my right hand, I would catch on each and every pleat. If I wanted to change the twist on this paper from left-handed to right-handed, what I could do is reverse all of my folds and that would change my twist from left-handed to right-handed. Of course, everything would now be drawn on with the opposite mountain valley assignment. But if you did want to see that right-handed form, which by the way, the right-handed form is what's on the twist page in the Summer of Twists ebook, then that is visible when you kind of flip the twist inside out. So now it's right-handed on both sides. So now if I take my left hand here and go to curl, I get tripped up on pleats. This is one of the cool things because when you flip the paper over, you're not just mirroring the pattern, you're not just reversing everything from mountains to valleys, you're doing both. And both of those change the chirality, or what handedness it's twisting. So if you change and change it back by just flipping the paper over, then you still have the same handedness of twist. So if you'd like to practice this mixed depth rhombus twist in a larger tessellation, I recommend this tutorial video. And this twist shows up commonly in my in Advanced Twist Techniques and Tessellation Garden, two of my resources for advanced tessellation folding. So there's links in the description if you'd like to learn more. Happy folding, and I'll see you in the next video.